A woman in a wheelchair holds a red bag on her lap.
Tamika Cheek keeps 3 go bags inside her apartment.
She shuffles through it.
They're filled with emergency supplies.
She pulls out a pouch.
The emergency kit, the first aid kit.
The backpacks are for just in case she needs to quickly leave her home.
The mask. The good ones.
A row of 2-story townhouses.
Cheek is a resident at Project Freedom in Robbinsville, Mercer County. These are apartments for people with disabilities who want to live independently. This complex is one of 11 across the state.
A shady tree in front of the units.
Norman Smith is Project Freedom's founder. He says to live independently as a disabled person, you have to be prepared for emergencies.
A man using a power wheelchair.
And that's what he told his 40 residents here when Hurricane Sandy knocked out power.
We have people here who are not ready.
We had people here who were not ready. They were crying, saying, "Who would come rescue us?" I said, "Nobody. It was up to you to get ready."
Smith says it could have been much worse. The electricity came back by the next day, and that's life-saving because many people here use power wheelchairs, CPAP machines, and lifts that help them get in and out of bed. But what concerns Smith even more, both back then and now, is what happens if it's not safe for his residents to stay inside of their apartments.
My biggest nightmare is evacuating.
My biggest nightmare is evacuating, especially if we have to do it overnight without notice. It's up to the municipalities to organize that. And I don't think they plan that far ahead.
1 out of 4 people in New Jersey have a mobility, sensory, or developmental disability.
Jason Strother, Lens 15.
Or other natural disasters, many preferred to shelter in place rather than be evacuated to somewhere they felt was inaccessible or where authorities didn't understand how to accommodate people with their needs. But staying at home isn't always an option, and some advocates worry that these physical and communication barriers with responders make New Jersey's disabled community more vulnerable.
There's a lot of different things that emergency personnel really needed to learn. And after we got hit with Sandy and some of the other hurricanes, I think it was just, people just started realizing, yes, we cannot ignore this community of people. These are the people that are dying. It has changed in 10 years.
Carol Tonks directs the Alliance Center for Independence, ACI, in Edison. The organization oversees the core advisory group of Middlesex County. It's a forum for people with disabilities to express their concerns with emergency management.
A man wearing dark shades sits in a room filled with cots.
And in the years since Sandy, ACI has held overnight evacuation rehearsals with authorities.
And what basically is simulating if a hurricane hit, gathering people with all types of disabilities and going to a real shelter-like environment and having it staffed by emergency personnel and volunteers, just like in the event somebody got evacuated.
Middlesex County Emergency Management's John Ferguson participated in one of those simulations. He says one takeaway was that the prepackaged meals weren't accessible for everyone.
Anybody that has any dexterity problems, being able to open the packages and all that stuff, and having the right utensils for them to use. Because technically what we've always done is, plastic silverware and stuff, but it's too small and too flimsy. So those little things show up, but if you don't exercise, you'll never find it. And that's one of those things we did find out.
Ferguson says Middlesex County now has 2 accessible buses that can bring wheelchair users to evacuation shelters.
A photo shows a wide aisle inside a bus.
He says since Sandy, emergency protocol has become more inclusive, but people with disabilities still need to notify responders if they require assistance. They can do so by signing up on sites like Register Ready or contacting local emergency officials.
A Register Ready website.
ACI's Carol Tonks says parents and caregivers of people with disabilities also need to be proactive. And that could mean packing a go bag like she did for her son ahead of Hurricane Sandy.
I had a go bag for my son that had his medications in it, that had his extra toys in there, that had a sheet that said, I am autistic, these are, I do not have language, this is my name, this is my age, my weight, my doctor, my mother, my father, emergency contact numbers in case anything ever happened. He's not going to be able to communicate. If something happened to my husband or I, he's not going to be able to communicate what his needs are.
Back at Project Freedom, Tamika Cheek says even though residents here have had a lot of preparedness training, she's still not confident that first responders will keep her safe during an emergency.
Cheek rolls up a ramp toward apartments.
I'm still terrified of being stuck in a fire or a bad hurricane. Project Freedom, the state, the county, or they have not ensured us that they have a better plan for us.
Jason Struther, Lens 15, Robbinsville, Mercer County.
She continues along a sidewalk.